Hi, and welcome to a new episode of ProDab Youth Talent, where we provide a stage for forward-looking views on people development. I'm very happy with my guest today, Alberto Gonzalez Otero. He has a background, a very long 20-year background in sales and leadership roles, and now he has founded his own company just on purpose. And today we're going to talk about forward-looking views of people development. Alberto, great to have you here.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, sure. We're looking forward to this talk. For our viewers and listeners, can you tell a little bit more about who you are and what you do?
Well, my name is Alberto. I'm originally from Spain, but I'm living here in the Netherlands for 12 years already, in The Hague. Who I am? Well, I'm an optimist person.
Okay.
I'm, just someone that, tries to add and provide value to others. And I have been doing this for a long time, as you mentioned. You call me old, but it's fine.
I didn't say specifically old. I say a lot of experience.
That comes with it, so that's okay.
Sure.
And I've been working in sales and sales leadership roles for a while, and basically my main driver was indeed to help others, right? And that's what I'm doing now with my own company as well. But it is more focused on what I really wanted to do and what my purpose is. So.
All right, and we'll revisit that purpose quite many times, probably within this conversation.
Yeah.
But before doing so, for the audience to get to know you, what does personal development mean to you?
Well, personal development is how people evolve, right? I think whether we do nothing or we do something, we are always evolving, right? We are always developing. We learn things every day, and we are exposed to things that happen to us every day. And basically, that's how I see, people development or personal development is how you change over time.
Yeah. So you said you've changed over time as well. So the sales and leadership roles, getting to found your own company, that must have been a big step as well. So could you tell a bit about the journey you've traveled so far in terms of your own personal development and how to go about to make that decision to found your company?
Yeah, it is a long journey. I would say my first job after my bachelor's and master's degree was selling encyclopedias, knocking doors on the street.
Right.
So that was my first experience with sales. It was probably the worst job I ever had in my life, but the one that I appreciate the most because that really helped me to develop and change and improve. And from that, experience, I've been, always kind of selling stuff. Then I went to a better company, selling, different kind of products, like visiting carpenters. 8 a.m. at their place, and doing demos on my suit and tie, of how to, put screws on the wall.
There's no tie anymore today.
There is no tie. I got rid of that a few years ago. Yeah, indeed. I was always, improving, right, from one company to the next one, and then at some point that was all in Spain. So I started in Spain, working in Spain, and then at some point I had this. This desire of living abroad, to have that experience, to learn more about different cultures and different people.
Yeah.
So never done it before, and then when I was 30 years old, I moved to the Netherlands, and the same thing. I started in a job here in Amsterdam, and then went to a better one after a few months only, and kept on growing. And basically, I say the same always. I almost spent 20 years in sales, and I don't like sales that much, or at least some components of it. But I do like a lot of them, which is more the connection with people, helping people with what you sell, right?
Yeah.
So through this journey, I had to convince myself of what I was doing was helpful and valuable to my customers, and that that's how I kept on going, right, and was successful selling stuff. And then I wanted to. I was questioning myself, how can I stop selling, And of course, the logical step is management. So I thought, well, when I get to be a manager, then I will stop selling myself and I will help others to do it. And that was it. But I kept on selling and accompanying people to sell as well and all that. But yeah, there are some things in management and leadership that I love, which is again helping others to be better and to be successful and happier. There are some components that I didn't like. And I learned a lot as well through all these years, building teams and developing teams and people. But I was also spending a lot of time in unnecessary meetings, looking at numbers and reports that, making decisions without asking people, that knew more about that stuff. And I always had this thing of like focusing on people, right? So,
so what was for you the key motivation to go from there to found your company?
Well, I think like as with many, entrepreneurs, doing things your own way, and you think there is a better way to do things, and there's a way that you can help people better, or to do things better, to be more successful. And in my case, that was it. I wanted to depend on myself, on my skills, my knowledge, my ability to inspire others.
To have autonomy also in that area.
And also, yeah, indeed, to do, when you work for a company, basically you sell this product. And you go to another one, you sell this product, and the products can be amazing and very good. But in the end, you depend on on that product. You depend on the people who develop that product. I was in software for many years. And, it wasn't always easy to keep, believing in that value that you provided. So now I do it on my own, and I do it with something that is aligned with my purpose and what I want to do or create as an impact in this
nice.
World.
What I typically like, the beginning of your story, you told me the first job was knocking on doors, doing something I really didn't like at all. But it was a great experience.
Yeah.
So I like this way of look. So a bad experience or bad in that moment can turn out to be an experience of growth for later on, where you learn and develop. You learn what you don't like. You learn what you would like to do. So looking back at those moments, can you perhaps share with us a specific moment where you had a challenge, a decision you had to make, a tough one, and how did you go about to make that decision?
Well, I had to make many tough decisions, I think, in my career. If you leaving a company is a tough decision. So every time I did, it was difficult because I care about people and I connect well with people. And then, when you need to leave because you don't, there's something that doesn't tick the box anymore, and you make that decision, it's always difficult. And sometimes more difficult than others. I spent almost 6 years working for an American company, locked me in, and I grew with the company. I joined the company when we were 170 people worldwide, but in Amsterdam we were like around 25 people. And then when I left the company, we were like 100 people worldwide. And it was a great experience, a lot of hard work and traveling and a lot of things. But, also, I keep in touch with people that we work together there. And if I go to London, I get to see them. If I go to Boston, I do the same. And if they come, we get together.
So you still stay connected with the people you
with a group of people. We always try to see each other. And that's so nice. But at some point, that was the best working experience of my life, I will say. But at some point I had to leave this company because, it didn't work for me anymore. And that was a tough period also. A few months. It's not that you decide and one day, hey, I'm going to leave the company and that's it. But, thinking about it, trying to make it work and trying to change the situation. But then, when you don't see any possibilities, then you see like you have to decide, well, this is for me is better, and you need to think about yourself. And then that was probably a tough moment for me to decide to leave that company.
So with ProTabU, we're focused on developing people within organizations, and so zoom in on your organization Just on Purpose. Let's start with the name. Why it's called Just on Purpose?
Well, because through this journey, and especially the last years, I was questioning myself, what else can I do that is not selling, and you know, that it is something that is aligned to what I really want to do, and it was difficult to find it first, what I really wanted to do, because I like a lot of things, and but then at some point, and thanks to different inspiration sources, I kind of developed a methodology to help myself find my own purpose, right, or discover my own purpose, and that really worked with me. And my inspiration was about, you know, finding your purpose, right? What you really want to do. So basically, that's the reason for the name. I think we need to just start with the purpose, and to understand why we do things, why we wake up in the morning, why we go to work every single day to this, you know, for this company. And if you understand why you do things and what drives you as well, then from that point, you know, you can just work on the rest of the aspects of your life to help you have a better, you know, life, and more fulfilled and happier journey. So.
Yeah, that's really nice. So if you look at alignment is something that you talk about a lot. Alignment to your own purpose, to why you do things. In this in the way I know you, and also in this conversation again, you're talking a lot about helping others, being in service of others, finding their purpose. Why is that so important to you?
Well, I think it's in my nature. I realize through this thinking process that it comes very natural to me, like this thing of helping others. You know, if I'm on the street and I see someone that is kind of lost looking at the phone or a map or something, I have this temptation, like immediately, to go and ask, hey, can I help you with something? If I'm, you know, surfing, you know, I'm not the best surfer
Me neither.
in the world, but if I'm there in the sea, you know, and I see someone that is learning, and you know, I think I can give an advice or something. It's not that I do it. I don't. In most of the cases, I don't do it. But I always think about doing it. I always think, like, hey, maybe if I, you know, give this advice, if I say this, maybe that helps this person. So I realized of that, and I did the same thing with my teams, with my people. You know, I was always thinking, how can I help these you know, people to be, you know, more successful, or to do their job better, or to be, you know, feel better at this company, in my team, you know.
So directly after this conversation finishes, we need to schedule a date to go surfing together.
Yeah, we can.
So yet. So, so first, looking into talent development in organizations. If you look at the state of talent development, or let's call it people development in organizations, what do you see going well, and what could be improved?
Well, it can be improved. Well, I guess a lot of things. I think the main thing is that, you know, if we focus more on people rather than on numbers, I believe that things will go better. But that alone isn't going to solve all the issues. You need to understand with the purpose of your company or your team, or you as a leader, right? Mm-hmm. So if people come to work for you every morning and they don't know why, there is something wrong with that. If you don't know, if someone asks, okay, why are you in business, and you don't have an answer, or your answer is, I want to make money to grow the company and sell it. Well, that's good, you know, that's a good goal, but it's not, you know, why you are existing as a company, because whether you like it or not, you are making an impact, positive or negative. So I think focusing on numbers, and it is important, but I think if you focus on the people first, then the numbers will be better than if you don't. And so that, I think that's what it can be improved, because many organizations are just, especially managers, the organizations which are the ones running the companies, basically, they spend their days just in meetings and looking at reports and dashboards instead of talking to people and asking them, hey, how can I help you to be better, to be more successful? So that's one thing. And what is working well, I think, is that there is a shift going on. There's more and more companies nowadays are understanding this and little by little focusing more on people and trying to make that shift. And I think that's the it's a start, but it's a long way to go, but it will
it's
come.
moving in the right direction. We're not there yet, but we're moving in the right direction, is what you're saying. So you're also talking about managers, mostly looking at numbers instead of people. So in your work and also what you share on social media, you talk a lot about leadership. What would be, to you, the core difference between managers and leaders?
Well, there are several ones, right? I think the main thing is like leaders put themselves in the rear seat, right? So they are there to support their people succeed, and managers tend to do the opposite, to put themselves first, and then they usually think, well, I'm the one who needs to make the decisions. I'm the one who is supposed to know everything, every answer of every question. Or if I don't, I need to pretend I do. And that's the main maybe difference. And then there are some components of it. I think in the end, managers are managing people. Managing resources, so they could see people as resources,
to improve their bottom line instead of really treating them as human beings.
I think people don't need to be managed. People need to be guided and led, and that's what leaders do, right? So they need to make decisions. They need to sometimes they need to decide on something that not everyone agrees on. But maybe they ask their people first about their opinion, and they help people grow. And managers usually don't help their people grow that much, because they even are afraid of, if someone in my team grows too fast, this person can replace me. And leaders don't care. I always, with my teams, I always told them this, like, my goal here, because I'm gonna be here for, I don't know, maybe many years or maybe a few years only. But my goal is that when I leave, and we all leave or whatever, sometime in the future, when you think about your experience working with me as your manager here, you can say, well, in that period of time, he helped me grow. He helped me learn new things or develop these skills. And that was my goal for my team. My goal wasn't to be a VP or something, or to keep growing for myself, but just to help my people, do better.
So what I also hear you say quite a lot is that everybody is a leader in some way. So how can you create or ignite that own leadership within yourself? How can you act as a leader in this world?
Yeah, that's a sentence that I struggled with for a while, because at the beginning I didn't believe that everyone can be a leader. And the reason why was because I had many managers, and some of them were very good, but some of them were very bad. And some people, I thought, these people cannot lead anyone, because they just don't have the skills, because you need to connect with people, have empathy, and these kind of things. But then I realized that, not every leader needs to be leading a lot of people, or not every leader needs to be the same kind of leader. So I think everyone can become a leader. Everyone can lead something. It doesn't need to be at work. They need to lead their own lives as well, if you are just an individual. And everything starts with awareness and self-confidence, right? Looking at yourself and see, who you are and what drives you and what things you do good, you are good at, because everyone is good at something.
Yeah.
And analyzing that and realizing, okay, maybe I'm not good at inspiring people, so I'm not going to try to lead a team of 20 or 50 people, but maybe I'm super good at, programming or something, and by doing very good programming, I can maybe inspire other people to do the same.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily I'm not the guy that I'm gonna speak to 100 people at the conference. That's a leader maybe too, but there are different kinds of leaderships.
And so from leadership going to purpose and to alignment, what you address is every individual has his or own purpose, but you also have a purpose on a team level, on organizational level. So how to make sure for individuals to find their purpose, for the team to find their purpose, and to create that alignment? Do you have a way to do so?
Yeah, so that's basically what I do with my clients. So the methodology that I was talking about, it starts with the individual, or start with the company. At the end, you can do it separately. And the key point is to understand, what drives you, right? As a company, as a team, as an individual. And it's not going to be only one thing. You will have several things. And especially, I start with what you love to do, right? Mm-hmm. And why is that? Because, well, if you don't really like what you are doing, there is a big chance that you will stop doing it at some point, right?
Yeah, that's not sustainable.
That's indeed. So basically, if you as an individual have different things that drives you, that gives you energy, that helps you, you love to do, then the team has different goals and different things that they need to do as well, and the company too. And what you look at is like, maybe one or two of those things are actually the same, or they can link to each other. They can be linked to each other. Mm-hmm. And that's how you find the alignment. And that will help people to be more engaged. And if I understand why my company is in business and is selling the products they sell.
Yeah, so to really mobilize around a shared mission and to contribute from your own internal drive. Yeah. Instead of that it's being imposed by the organization itself, so that you have ownership over the things you do and what you would like to contribute.
Yeah.
Looking at, there might be cases that there's no alignment, or you figure out that there is a disalignment between the mission of the company or within your team compared to your own purpose. What to do then?
Well, then either you need to leave the company or they fire you, and that's fine. I always say the same. Some people, what if you go and do a workshop about this purpose thing, and then some people find that they don't have any link to with the company purpose. Well, they will realize of that, and they will end up leaving, and sooner than later. And that's not bad for them, and it's not bad for the company, because basically what the company wants is, okay, if I'm sure about what I'm doing as a company, what my purpose is, that's not going to really change very, very easily. So basically, people who aren't aligned, they can leave and leave the room, the space for people who are actually aligned with that to join the company.
Yeah.
That would be a very good situation for the company. And for the people who are not aligned, they can look for a job somewhere else at a company that is aligned with their own values and purpose. And that will be also a win for them.
Yeah, because often you still see that organizations can be hesitant about exploring people's individual purpose because it might not be aligned to the company's purpose. And I think what you say is right. It's better to have that transparent and on the table than having it somewhere below the surface and it's there, it's slumbering, and people are not energized, people are not motivated. So you can better know it up front than let it just go about for a couple of years and not being happy in that relationship together. Yeah,
then you have all these numbers on this research of the level of engagement, of employee engagement at companies, so low. And level of satisfaction at work, and all these surveys and then research numbers, and that's for a reason. So if you start by knowing what your purpose is and trying to do this alignment, well, then it will help people to stay motivated, to stay engaged. And you have companies doing that, and people just don't leave the companies, and they go to work with a smile because they know why they are going there every day.
Yeah. What makes you smile? Getting out of bed and knowing that you get to spend another day on Just on Purpose?
Well, yes, this, right? So I'm doing what I love to do. I think I'm doing what I'm good at as well, and I help people, and at the end, companies are people, and help companies and people to do things more based on purpose, and in many cases, of course, making a positive impact to others and to the world. And I think with my little contribution, I think I'm trying to make the world better, I guess, with a very, very little steps. But that's what
It's
motivates
all about
me.
making that contribution, creating that ripple effect. Do what you can, do what you love. So looking at Just on Purpose, and Alberto, what are your plans for this year? Where do you want to go?
Well, I could say I don't have this thing like I want to grow the company to this point, or I want to do well. So basically to keep busy with giving workshops every other day, to helping companies, having projects, and spending time adding value to others, and that's my main goal. Then it's not like other people. I want to grow the company 100-200% or whatever, and then sell it and whatever. I'm not here for that. So I just want to be happy with what I'm doing.
I mean, you just mentioned this the only quantitative approach doesn't suit you, so it would be weird if that would be your only goal right now, right? So.
Of course, but it's good to have goals. I have goals, of course, to grow the company to a level where obviously I'm busy with work, and of course I get money because of that as well, because money is important. Without money, I cannot be also sustainable. So you need that. But basically, my goal for this year is because I started last year, to be busy and keep busy all the time, giving workshops, running programs at companies, helping people. Sometimes I do also like free workshops as well for more individuals to help them, and that's so far what I'm doing right now, and I will keep doing this year. So
I hope so. It's inspiring what you do, what you share. So also thanks for having this conversation with me, sharing your wisdom with the world, with our viewers and listeners. We always end this podcast video interview with one question, and that is: what can organizations start doing today to improve their people development?
Well, they just stop focusing on numbers and just start focusing on people. We tend to forget about the people that we already have and the things that we already have, and that happens in our lives as well. When we have something new, we give a lot of appreciation, but then after a while, that appreciation goes away, and that happens to existing employees as well. We are always looking for new talent, and spending and investing a lot on talent acquisition. I hate that word, but when we have very good employees that we were very excited about when we hire them, and we don't value enough right now. Yeah. Why? Because we got used to them, and looking at those and trying to see, hey, these people are here working for a while. What can they improve? What we appreciate from them, what's their contribution, and how I can help them to, be happier, more fulfilled, and add more value to themselves, to the company. And that's, I think, the best way to start, from what you already have, and not always try to chase the new things and the new talent, because the new talent will become the same.
It's an interesting point of view, which might relate to more relations as well, because if you are a new customer, you get a lot of discounts, you get a lot of attention, and then when you're a customer for a longer period of time, then there is sometimes less attention for you. And I think the same holds for recruitment and talent. There's a big focus, big budgets on in introducing talent to the company. But then when the talent's there, like you say, we need to appreciate them more, keep a continuous dialogue, keep appreciating, especially the people who've been there for a long time, and to keep developing them.
Yeah, that's what I think.
I think so too.
Yeah, good.
All right. Yeah. Thanks for the conversation. If our viewers and listeners would like to reach out to you, where can they do so?
Well, they can either go to my LinkedIn profile or just to justonpurpose.com. Send me an email at alberto@justonpurpose.com. Whatever they want to reach out to me. But those are the channels.
Right. Thanks once again. And so for our viewers and listeners, this was again an episode of Prototype You Talent. See you again next time. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Good? Yeah.
Yes.